how's it going? Uncle Bo here with another edition of Mo's Mining Musings. Going to come at you today with a little quarterly report. I'm about 3 months into the game. A little over that, but 3 solid kind of full months that really been keeping track of stats. So just doing a little mining here, looking for some drilling here next to the Repulse Firebase. And not finding any. Might have to switch up here pretty soon, but I found some pretty good claims so far. So I just wanted to share a few statistics. I'm not going to bore you with the whole book, you know, but I definitely just kind of adding things up. I found some interesting things. You know, I keep Excel spreadsheets on all the mining data, all the mining I do, the crafting I do, etc., etc. And just come up with some, I don't know, just a few interesting things. For instance, I'll go over some mining stats first. It's kind of common knowledge or accepted theory, I guess, that you're supposed to get about a 90% what's called a TT return for mining, or pretty much anything you do in game, hunting and crafting. I think would be close to 90% too, but particularly for mining. And I added things up, and lo and behold, I ended up this quarter with a 102.87% TT return. So much better than what's considered average. Anytime you can finish over 100% like that without markup, that's a huge thing. So mining, I guess I've done pretty well. One of the interesting stats I came up with those, I took away the 2 towers I had. I had a couple towers that quarter, and when I took away those and redid the math, I came up with a TT return of 89.11%, much closer to 90. So there seems to be some debate as to whether or not that 90% return is or is not supposed to include major hits. So I don't know. I'd be interested to hear some of your statistics out there. I'm not sure yet. This is only one minor stats for 3 months, so it doesn't really mean much. Definitely doing better on sales. I was keeping track of just ore and net matter sales, and started off with about 114% average markup on the auction house, and that includes fees, and ended up the last month with 118%. So, doing a little better. I think that just comes down to actually, lately I've got all the good mining spots and whatnot down now. So, it's I guess just patience and really finding out where all the high markup stuff is does pay off, but it does take time, and there's no substitute. You can't really just go to a website and really find out instantly where the good spots are. You gotta really go out there and get them done yourself. Although certain websites out there will help you get a nice start. So things like mininglog.com. There's a couple others I'll have to. I think Miners Mafia is a good one too. So at any rate, so yeah, trying to stick with the higher markup stuff to sell that for a little better profit. Crafting, I didn't do so good on, but I don't know, everybody does their books differently. So anything I purchased in the game, I considered that a crafting purchase. I kept track of the losses during crafting, and then anything that I sold that was like a mining amp or something that was crafted, I counted that as sales. So came out definitely behind for crafting. My goal is to kind of eventually break even with that, and then have the mining be the huge profit portion. I did find out something interesting. The whole reason I wanted to craft was that I wanted to make my own mining amps, and right now it took a little bit of math, quite a bit of math actually, because there's quite a lot that goes into making amps, but final results for me, just to share them with you. For me to make a level 5 amp cost me about 113% markup. Or in other words, for a 200 pid amp, 226 pid. They do sell for 110% markup, so I'm definitely a loser there. But I did much better on the level 7 amps. Level 5s and 7s were what I primarily made. Even with the beryllium rate increase, the markup on that is still insane. It's usually around a 170. I was still able to craft level 7 amps for just a touch under 120% markup. So made out a little bit better than what you might get on the auction house. I'm going to assume that over time, as my skills get better, and now that I have much more crafting knowledge than I did starting out, that's just going to get better and better for me. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. And I wanted to give you a percentage breakdown too of where all my net worth was. I don't want to give you the total, what I deposited and blah 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 blah. You guys know I'm a depositor, and more than just $50. I'll leave it at that. But I'll just give you a percentage breakdown of where my net worth is right now. When I did the quarterly report, for pet amount, net worth was only about 2.7%. And a lot of people ask, man, where's your ped? Do I look at your ped card? Usually there's not very much on there. When you're mining, you're constantly cycling peds. So you constantly have minerals in stock, and you're constantly mining and buying more amps and making more amps, buying probes. So definitely have net worth. It just doesn't always show on the ped card. You got to keep mining, keep on going if you're gonna churn out a profit eventually. So moving on, just total assets and markup. For as far as my net worth, just assets, things that I own, account for 43.2% of my worth, and the markup value generated from those, if I had to sell them all now, would be about 6.5% of my net worth. So close to half of my pet is tied up in some sort of asset of some sort, and I included everything: vehicles, ore on hand, all that stuff. Blueprint value. Blueprints are about 16% of my net worth. Thanks to blueprints have gone down. There's simply at this point more of them that I've noticed, and the Nixarium Beryllium move over to Rocktropia really brought down any amplifier, any mining amplifier blueprint went down in value due to that. Particularly the level 8s took a real big crash. They've been tough sellers lately. For those people trying to unload the level 8 blueprint, I think they've come back up a little bit though. So good news for them. Sometimes you just gotta hang in there, particularly over the summertime. I've been told right now this is just a slow entropia time. It tends to always be slow. So once the fall hits and school gets back in session and back to school is over with, then we should see hopefully a nice pickup in population. Other portion of the my net worth, 31.9%, would just be represented by the skills I've accumulated. Skills in this game, they do have value. You can put them onto electronic chips and sell them to other players. It's called a process called chipping out. A lot of players refuse to do that. They'll just, if they quit the game, they'll chip out and just do it all there. Or some players would never do that. Or some players actually, like when I'm skilling up on a mothership, you can build up skills and kind of sell those if you wanted to. That's certainly a viable strategy. So, yeah, net profit. I'm definitely up for the quarter, and I haven't always been. I have been looking at a lot of red numbers. I took almost a 7,000 ped swing at one point into the negative, which is just it was a really bad mining time. But definitely got that back, and I'm looking at that's about 750 ped profit for all that work. I'm up a lousy $75, but it just goes to show that even with a really nice sized deposit, it's still real tough to make ped, particularly when you're starting out. You got to learn the game. You're going to make mistakes, and you've got to invest in certain things, buying your initial vehicles and things like that, learning all the spots. So there's definitely a break-in period. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do next quarter. I hope it's even better. because obviously I want to turn into a regular withdrawer, not a regular depositor. So I'm looking at doing some things coming up next quarter. I'm hoping to get into a shop somewhere, but only if it's for the right price. I'm not going to pay through the nose for a shop somewhere. But if you're a crafter that wants to unload some wares, a shop really helps. But again, location with that thing, and it's going to be a balance of trying to get a nice shop for the right price. I'm not going to set my heart on it, but it would be something nice if I could have something kind of fall in my lap kind of thing, you know. What else can I mention? Yeah, that's about it as far as the quarterly report goes. Definitely looking at my goal for next quarter is to initiate a first withdrawal. I haven't done that yet. I definitely want to get some sort of PED coming back this way, converted back into real dollars. But you know, this game's an investment. It's a long-term investment. It may not. I may have to put that off even for a year for the first withdrawal. I just there's certain things I want to do, and they require a lot of float. So we'll see. But I'm enjoying the game and loving it so far. I'm confident that if I had to stop playing now, that I could cash out ahead of where I was when I bought in. And to me, that means I've been playing an MMO not only for free, but made a little money on it, as opposed to paying a subscription on some other lousy MMO. So good stuff. Very exciting. I've already released it. I already kind of did this video, and I hated it so much I decided to redo it. It was just too long and stupid. This is even turning in a little longer than I wanted, but at any rate, Wacky Warp Wednesdays coming up this July. Going to do some warps. You go see the video about it. That's episode 22. This will be episode 21 you're watching now of Mo's Mining Musings. Wacky Warp Wednesdays. I have purchased the Bismarck. I've rented the Bismarck. I can't purchase the damn thing. But Tsukuba's allowed me to rent that 4 nights every Wednesday evening, starting at 23:30 MA. We're going to be leaving Arcadia, heading to Calypso. And after that, after a half hour at 00 MA, or maybe a little longer if people need a little extra time. But we're going to return warp back to Arcadia. I'm hoping this gives you time, some of the North American kind of time zone players, a little time to go to Cali, sell some wares, pick up some much needed items that we need back on Arcadia. And I know a lot of the North American players are complaining, man, all the motherships, they just never travel during those peak hours. So we're trying this one for free. It's definitely my pleasure to kind of give back to the community, and also to see if we can establish maybe just one regular evening where all of us miners and traders can that play during the North American time zone can head out there. So hopefully we can turn it into kind of a regular evening at Tsukuba's normal price. But hey, if not, let's enjoy 4 free warps, man. Take advantage. Make sure to go check out episode 22 and follow the rules on that. There's also posts on the Calypso and Arcadia forums under the events forum. So, at any rate, folks, one of these days I need to get back to kind of showing you all some sparklies. It's been, and I just dropped a bomb in the same place, I think. It's been I won't say a rough time, but I've done really a lot of break-even mining here on Arcadia. Which is okay. You know, that's because I'm kind of breaking even. It's been a slow time, not much going on. Although there looks like there's some big hits here. Hell was kind of picking up while we were talking earlier. There were some nice hits. So who knows? Maybe it's picking up a little bit, but definitely the past couple days has been slow for mining overall. So hey, when it's slow and you're breaking even still, that's a huge thing. Always good. But at any rate, folks, we're going to wrap it up here. Keep this thing kind of short. I really want to see you on Wednesday evenings. I know that this first Wednesday coming up is the 4th of July. I get it. But I think we're still early enough. It's going to be light out across the country. So plenty of time if you want to sneak in a quick half-hour warp before you go out and party for the 4th of July. No problem. We'll get that done. Otherwise, if you can't do it, plan on making the trip any Wednesday or all 4 of them. At least try and make 1 or 2. Take advantage of a free warp. All right, folks. Thank you. This is Uncle Mo signing off. See you on the next one, and hopefully see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.